Yo, your dude Tank Lip. I'm gonna read y'all something. I made this Facebook post on actually my other Jason Lip Facebook account. So I know I'm making the video through a live feed on my Tank Lip music page, Facebook. I actually posted this on a different Jason Lip account, which is more like people in my town and stuff. Includes like people from high school, some people friends, some people that were friends that are maybe just acquaintances now, not friends, not true friends, whatever. And just some shit happened. I was having a discussion with my girlfriend about a phenomena on how, like, when I post a photo of myself, it gets half the likes, actual Facebook likes, as when I post a photo of her on the same Facebook account of mine. She'll get like, I mean, not that any amount of likes is astronomically high for astronomically interesting. This is going to regard the stars, and we're doing astronomy here. Another coincidence. Okay, well, anyway, so again, she'll get like 14 likes on a photo of her. It's just her. I post a photo of her, she get 14 likes. I post a photo of me 5 days later, I get 7 likes. So people are quicker to like someone else that is not me than actually compromise their grudge against me, is my overall synopsis. Is that it's somehow like by liking something that is literally me, a photo of me, it compromises their contempt or grudge or judgment against and disapproval against me. But it doesn't compromise that stance against me if they like a photo of her, because even though she represents a part of my life, it's not actually liking me, it's liking her, even though she's a part of my life. So I got to thinking about it and had a discussion with my girlfriend about this. And then some other weird events transpired, signs or coincidences, and because I'm observant of any signs that are ever out there to read, I catch them. That's the nature of my observing ego, observing eyes, being enlightened. I catch everything. Not too much gets past me. So even as I'm having a discussion with her, which is kind of like an enlightened discussion, I'm asking her, like, so what do you think this is, this phenomena, that happens with your pics and then it happens with my pics, etc. And then some other shit happened during the discussion of that. So I'm going to read you what I wrote as a Facebook post on the account that had to do with this phenomenon. I did post that text post on that account, and now I'm doing the video on this account, reading from the post on that account. So if y'all here on the Tank Lip page are like, what the fuck am I talking about? Yeah, you didn't, I have to read this post to you, otherwise you wouldn't see it. It's not a post I made on this Facebook. So, oh, and some other background. I've actually kind of laid off that account because it's just so underwhelming, the support. Not overwhelming, underwhelming. Like, just, it's like being in a ghost town. It's like being lost. It's a constant reminder of how lost I am in real life when I go on that account, because no one gives a fuck about me. And these are people that should matter more than like a music Facebook. I got strangers that support my music better than people that actually know me, and that's a sad reality for me. And you wonder why, in addition to fucking chemical imbalances that I've got going on, that a guy like myself would be even more depressed and even feel like he's in hell sometimes. So I'm gonna now read that post. So you have enough of a background. I'm just gonna read what I wrote on that post. Not sure why I would regress with my Facebook agenda. I've been doing well with posting much, much less when the epiphany came to me that should be my answer to my Facebook problems. LOL. But a new epiphany just came to me, too profound to not share. So, quote unquote, book starts now, meaning this is going to be a long ass post to read. LOL. I'm not posting this for likes, though part of the discussion actually entails that partially as a sub-concept, but this was a profound epiphany, at least to my understanding, or event that just took place, and I want to document this for myself. And I guess once again I'll be using Facebook as my diary for this. I was speaking with my girlfriend this morning in our home. I brought to her attention that she does better on my Facebook than I do, i.e., if I post a pic of her, it receives about 14 to 20 likes. And if I post a pic of me, it maxes out at about 7 likes, half the amount of what pics of her get. So I posed the question to her philosophically, not that I was bent out of shape for this phenomena I was observing. Quote, what do you think it is that this occurs? I spoke of my two theories that I believe could represent why this occurs. One, a pic of a woman will be quicker liked by a group of people if that group consists of mostly women that are the ones who would be potentially liking my posts of pics. For the main reason that if a woman likes another man's photo that is not their husband or boyfriend, it can be potentially disrespectful to that woman's partner for liking another man's photo. So I prompted her to think about if that represents why the same Jason Lipp Facebook account posts a pic of her, that it receives double the likes than an actual photo of Jason Lipp. Theory 2. There is an underlying judgment and grudge against Jason Lipp, and in reality a Facebook account with, say, 300 Facebook friends who may find the train wreck of my life interesting to rubberneck and view and take a peek or glimpse once in a while, doesn't accurately represent at all the real number of true friends that I have. In fact, may even be an account that has people as Facebook friends whom really actually privately despise me. And so I prompted my girlfriend to think about this possibility. That while my girlfriend represents a part of my life, when someone likes a photo of her, for them psychologically it doesn't cost those people to compromise their dislike of me in general. That in those moments, yes, they are liking a photo of someone that is in my life, but they are not actually giving their like or approval of me. So it costs them less psychologically than it does when it comes down to whether they allow themselves to like a photo that is actually a photo of Jason Lipp. During these questions or prompts I gave to her, I used the word, quote, virtue, unquote, in the context of, is someone doing this by virtue of this, or by virtue of this fact they are doing this? The point I'm saying is the word virtue was in my language or dialect to point out somewhat of the humor of my girlfriend's response to me as she mocked me. She appreciated the convo I was having with her, and she also offered some feedback, but then my OCD took over and I got repetitive. So she kind of snapped at me, but in a sarcastic, funny, humorous kind of way, mimicking my speech, saying, by virtue of the way the stars aligned on this day, in her humorous, sarcastic voice. It was funny. Even though I never said anything about stars aligning or whatever, that was just her comedic spin. But I did probably use the word virtue, because I kind of talk like that on occasion, so that was just a funny moment when she did that. But then some like deep matrix sign of the times shit occurs, as I'm a good candidate to observe signs when they occur. As she spoke of by virtue of how the stars aligned on this day, in her sarcastic response, I happened to have my YouTube playing songs. And YouTube automatically shuffled on its own Pink's Give Me a Reason. I didn't choose to play that song, it just played on its own after a song played that I did choose. Kind of odd, you'll know why in a sec. Right after my girlfriend made a comment to me about the stars aligning on this day, which was not a thought-given reaction, but just a sarcastic, gut reaction response to show me how ridiculous I was being. LOL. I was sitting at my desk while she stood in the bathroom, and I look over to my computer at the YouTube, which was playing Pink's Give Me a Reason, and the particular video also showed the lyrics on the song rather than an actual video. You know, one of those types of YouTube videos. And the lyrics, as I glanced at the computer screen, said, "Oh, it's in the stars, it's been written in the scars on our hearts." To which, of course, then, my OCD thinking got stirred up and the wheels spinning in my head because of the coincidence I was observing at that moment, as me and her talking about all this, but not planning or trying to find a deep sign in the actual occurrences in our talk. To say the least, the timing of how all that went down was sort of uncanny, no? So, a couple of things. I thought about the occurrence in the sense of kind of ironic that that coincidence occurred. And then I also literally analyzed what my girlfriend's statement was, which she didn't intend to be deep, but I actually soon later, found it to be very deep and profound. Again, she had said, by virtue of the way the stars aligned on this day. So, synopsis on that. The way the stars aligned on this day perhaps is why the coincidence that as she randomly made a statement about the stars aligning, a Pink song was playing on my computer with the lyrics literally at that moment saying written in the stars. So merely the stars and universe aligning in some destination played that moment out as it did, with the uncanny coincidences that she would say that at the same time the Pink song was saying what it was. Then I thought about it more literally and dissected it in the context of what it could mean in relation to the whole premise of the overall discussion I was having with her about Facebook and how I'm like out of place on my own Facebook account with people that are my Facebook friends not being my actual friends. And I came to this. Sweet old girlfriend actually gave me more of an epiphany and answer than she could have ever known when she made that sarcastic, knee-jerk response to me, which was really just an attempt to shut me up from being so long-winded, LOL, and was being sarcastic with me, LOL. The answer being, if acceptance and approval amongst people or validation is important to me, then searching for it in a place where you're already lost is going to yield yet another feeling of being lost and alone. And the star that I believe I am, that seems to be lost on so many that are my Facebook friends here on this account, would be better recognized and appreciated if I was amongst other stars, or to say, around the right people. Thanks, Jason Lipp. And then no one has, oddly enough, of course, liked this post. And they probably won't, because they probably won't read it. Okay, because I'm a different type of person. Probably the personalities on that Facebook account are the type of people that would say to me when I write something this long, make comments to me, Jay, less is more. And, criticize me for not putting the stereotypical short, Facebook post that is no longer than 2 sentences or a paragraph. Well, I'm not that kind of guy. I'm more of a storyline kind of guy. I feel like there's so many different things going on and life's not black and white. So it's not of my nature to, just because Facebook has a style that is more accepted by the masses, that people will give you time. If it's short and simple, they don't have to think too much. Well, I'm not a think too little kind of a guy. I think a lot, and my writing, luckily, I have the gift, the uncanny gift, to take all this that's going on, all this that's observing, and while it is long-winded and a lot of text, actually laid out in a coherent fashion. Most people can't. So the right people would appreciate that as a gift. They would appreciate me just based on that being a gift of mine as a writer. A writer isn't there to just write a story on one page. They write a novel. They write a book, which is 300 pages long. That's not of my skin to be like those other people. I'm different. I'm a writer. That's me. That's my gift. But the people there are not appreciating that as one of the aspects of my personality. So this won't be a post that gets liked. They probably won't read it. And if they read it, they're probably the type of people that are going to say, yeah, this is why no one wants to fuck with you. Look at this novel you just wrote. Who wants to read a novel on Facebook? So you got to understand, I'm not with the right people. So as I began to think about that, then I was the only one, again, no likes and no comments, and the only one that commented on my post was me. And so what I commented was a closing remark. And a closing point to this. I've always thought my personality would be better appreciated and valued by, say, a persona like Matt Damon or Ben Affleck or Robin Williams or a Megyn Kelly. Enlightened, compassionate, passionate, intuitive, smart, loving personalities. And oddly enough, they are of the stars, as we call them. Ha ha. Tank Lip, Jason Lip. Peace.